still a few. All right. Welcome, everybody. There's still a few folks coming into the webinar here. But you'll see that video is not turned on for any of the participants due to the webinar style that we're hosting. And I'm going to get started. My name's Stephanie. I work at Take Me Outside. And if you're just joining us for the first time this week, welcome. If you've been to a bunch of events over the past few days, thanks for joining us again. I hope you've really been enjoying all the events and activities and getting outside, most importantly, of course. And today's actually Take Me Outside Day. It's the official day. So this is the first time that our organization has actually had a week worth of events. So this is really exciting. It's our biggest year yet. And so Take Me Outside, if you're not familiar, if you're new to the organization, we're a nonprofit organization. We are across Canada, and the mission is to encourage students and teachers to spend time outdoors and to have that time be a regular part of their everyday learning. Our small team is spread out across Canada. We have folks in Ontario and Alberta, and I'm here in BC. I live in a small town in the Kootenays, and it is the traditional unceded ancestral territory of the Sinixt, the Syilx, the Ktunaxa, and the Secwepemc people who have been on this land and stewarding it since time immemorial. And I'm very grateful for their ongoing presence on the land. Outdoor learning comes with great benefits for everybody on the land, for your mind and your body. Being outside, being physically active, spending time in nature is all a wonderful thing you can do with your class, your family, your friends, whatever way you want to be outside. From the silver lining of the past 2 years is that we're able to reach so many folks across the country. And there's also some people who signed up, I noticed, who don't even live in Canada, which is amazing. There's people who've signed up from some other countries as well. And so we're happy to be able to offer all of these different webinars and events to folks virtually. And especially if you're joining from somewhere remote or somewhere that is typically underrepresented for these larger events. So while the webinar is online today and every day, we encourage you to get outside, learn something new while you're out there, breathe in some fresh air, and detach from screens beyond this webinar, of course. So if you're just joining us here, welcome. If you've missed the first sort of little introduction, because this is Zoom webinar style, you don't have the option to turn your video on. I see some people saying hello in the chat. So hello to everybody who's joining us. In general, I'm not sure, you shouldn't have the ability to unmute yourself. But if you happen to, if that setting isn't quite right here, then please keep yourself on mute. And we will be heading right into the presentation here with Remy Rodden. We have a wonderful performance coming up. And if you've joined us in past years, maybe you're familiar with Remy or from another performance. And feel free to check Remy out online and also to check Take Me Outside website for all kinds of other resources and things for your Take Me Outside journey. And I think we should just jump into it here. I'll introduce Remy quickly, and Remy, if you want to add anything, feel free. So Remy Rodden is committed to helping children learn about nature. He's a clever songwriter, deeply concerned about the environment, and his wholly entertaining show, both live and now more frequently online, ignites both the young and the young at heart. Remy's target is to inspire wonder and foster responsible action with his fun and poignant curriculum-connected songs. Remy's many years as an adventurer, camp leader, educator, and entertainer uniquely position him to delight family audiences. He draws on his experience of countless school presentations, travels, and performances in all continents, yes, even Antarctica, and a wilderness life in Canada's Yukon Territory. He has degrees in biology and environmental studies, outdoor and experiential education, and puts them to full use in his music. So thank you so much for being here, Remy.
Oh, thanks, Stephanie, and thanks everyone. Merci tout le monde for joining us. Boy, I'm seeing over 200 groups and joining in, and I am joining you right now from the traditional territory of the White River First Nation. And one thing I'd add to the to that biography or the introduction there is that I'm currently a full-time teacher at Nelna Bessie John School in Beaver Creek. And Beaver Creek is Canada's most westerly community. So I encourage you to look it up on a map when you're done this show and see where that is. It's way, way, way out in the Yukon, up on the edge of the border with Alaska, way farther west than Vancouver or Haida Gwaii, any of those places. So you might notice this green background. That the plan was that you were not going to see that. But the plan was actually to have, this is probably many of you know, this is called a green screen, and I was going to have fancy images in the background here to illustrate some of the songs. But as happens often with technology, it just did not work at the last minute. So we will count this green as being the green for environment, for the trees, for the plants, and being outdoors. And I really encourage everybody, if you can, to go outside after the show. And maybe you've been out already. And if you have, fantastic. I really, really encourage that. We learn so much when we're in the great outdoors. So as I mentioned, I'm teaching at the school, and the first song I'd like to send out to them in particular. And this is called I'm Proud to Be a Beaver. And I know they like the song, and this is Beaver Creek. So as you know, beavers are very clever animals, and they have incredible adaptations, we call them, to their environment. So you will probably be able to name a few, but they have those big front teeth for chewing the logs and branches to get their food and to build their dams. They have the big flat tail that slaps like that. They have incredible things like they have double eyelids. And so when they're underwater, they have like goggles in there. They have hair that lets them swim underwater and stay warm, and it's waterproof. I'll sing about a few more of those in this song, but there is a part for you. And during this entire show, what I would encourage you to do is join in with singing and doing some of the actions that I will invite you to do. So for this song, which is all about beavers, we're going to chew like this, chew, 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 chew. So if you are in a classroom, maybe your teacher can help you do that and maybe demonstrate for you. Chew, 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 chew. And then you can use two hands if you want. That's kind of fun. Then slap your tail like that. And even during the song, if you wanted to gently keep time, like clapping, like you're slapping your tail, you could do that too. So this is the way the song goes. Chew, 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 chew. That's what beavers do. We chew. Slap your tails, shout out loud. I'm proud to be a beaver. Okay, I can't see you, but I hope you're doing that out there. So this is the song, and it goes like this. So remember, I can't do the actions and play at the same time, but I bet you can. Okay, here we go. Chew, 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 chew. That's what beavers do. We chew. Slap your tails, shout out loud. I'm proud to be a beaver. Did you guys do it? I hope so. Okay, we're going to continue. We'll speed it up a little bit. Oh, chew, 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 chew. That's what beavers do. We chew. Slap your tails, shout out loud. I'm proud to be a beaver. No time to play, there's work to do. Dams to build, logs to chew. Aspen wood tastes good, you know. Tree coming down, look out below. Ready? Chew, 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 chew. That's what beavers do. We chew. Slap your tails, shout out loud. I'm proud to be a beaver. Well, rodents come in different sizes. We are big. Look at these incisors. Our teeth keep growing unless we're doing what we do best, and that is chewing. Let's see you chew. Chew, 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 chew. That's what beavers do. We chew. Slap your tails, shout out loud. I'm proud to be a beaver. Well, under the ice we dive down low. Our lodge is entered from below. It's warm and safe and dry in here because we're skillful engineers. Oh, chew, 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 chew. That's what beavers do. We chew. Slap your tails, shout out loud. I'm proud to be a beaver. Well, slap your tail, sound the alarm. Wet feet swim away from harm. River otter loves to eat. Beaver snack and beaver meat. Oh my. Chew, 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 chew. That's what beavers do. We chew. Slap your tail, shout out loud. I'm proud to be a beaver. Our waterproof fur and diving gear, plugs for the nose and plugs for the ears. We wear diving goggles too. You see, we're built to swim and chew. Last time. Chew, 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 chew. That's what beavers do. We chew. Slap your tail, shout out loud. I'm proud to be a beaver. Oh, why not? Another time. Here we go. Chew, 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 chew. That's what beavers do. We chew. Slap your tail, shout out loud. I'm proud to be a beaver. I'm proud to be a beaver. I'm proud to be a beaver. Nice. Well, I hope you guys had fun with that. I sure had fun with that. And if you ever listen to the recording, you'll hear some really cool percussion or drum stuff that my friend Lonnie does on the recording. And you can hear those on any of the streaming services that we have online these days. So next song is about fish. Fish. So in this show, we're going to start talking about some of the animals and plants and things that we see outside and some of the natural things. Some of the biology, if you will. And then later, we'll talk about how we are involved with the environment because we're all connected. So this is about fish. And I would invite you in this song. And if everybody's ready out there, everybody ready? Yeah, okay. So do this, put your hands up with your palms towards me. And then turn them around. Then bring them slowly up beside your head, beside your ears, and then find your thumbs and turn your thumbs out. And we are making gills of the fish. And if you really want to look like a fish, you could look your lips like this. Okay. So in this song, at some point, I'm actually going to sing like a fish. Well, I don't know if it's really the way a fish sings, but you could make your kind of fish sounds when we get to that part. So you also, when we're making the fish sounds, you can do this part. The other part to remember on this, I would go, why should we care about fish? And you go, fish. Do a big fist pump, go, fish. Let's try that now. Why should we care about fish? Fish. Excellent. I believe that you did a good job with that because I can't see you. All right. Are we ready? Yeah. Good. Now, only on the chorus will you go, fish. Not every time I say fish, or else it would get a little crazy. Now don't ever wish a world without fish, because they're slippy and slimy, because each little fish has its own special niche in clear living waters and streams that are grimy. The fish is our neighbor, it could be our lunch. The fish is a creature I like a whole bunch. Fish deserve our respect. They're part of the web that keeps us all fed. One fish eats another and then it's our dinner. They're pretty to look at, amazing to see on their own, or a pond or a lake, stream or river. They're absolutely fascinating. For adaptations, I give them a rating. Fish deserve our respect. Ready? So why should we care about fish? Fish, like everything in nature, they have a part to play. And why should we care about fish? Fish, they're fascinating creatures with extraordinary features. Once you get to know them, they're okay. Once you get to know them, you'll think they're great. They're sleek and they're slim, and so they can swim at incredible speeds through a dense liquid medium. And some fish will travel just fine on the gravel from ocean to river. It's truly a marvel. They live under ice, their sea vents get hotter. Fish are so cool they can breathe underwater. And of course, they use their gills to breathe underwater. Fish deserve our respect. Why should we care about fish? Fish, like everything in nature, they have a part to play. Why should we care about fish? Fish, they're fascinating creatures with extraordinary features. Once you get to know them, they're okay. Well, once you get to know them, you'll think they're great. Okay, we're gonna sing like a fish. Can you get your gills up? Maybe your teacher can show you how that works. And remind you, here we go, gills up. And I'm gonna sing like a fish. Oh, that's so funny. So don't ever wish a world with a fish because you don't understand them. Because each little fish has its own special niche. They're a part of nature we mustn't abandon. We gotta have fish. The more the better. We'll make a big difference if we work together. You and me and all of us. Oh, fish deserve our respect. And how can we care for our fish? Fish! By not using products that pollute the lakes and streams. And how can we care for our fish? Fish! Protect their habitats, no matter where it's at. Every little action is okay. Everything we do to help is great. Sing like a fish again and get your gills up. Fish! Oh man, I have a lot of fun with that song. You know what? And adults like it too. All right. So the next song, as we're going down the talk about science and biology, I'd like to remind you, because I think probably most of you know about food chains and food webs. And a food chain is when it starts with plants and maybe an animal like a bunny might eat that plant, and then something will eat that bunny. What might it be? A lynx or a wolf? And then sometimes something even bigger will eat that wolf. So that's a food chain. And then a food web, of course, is all those different animals and plants. They all interact. It's not like the bunny just eats that one plant, or that a lynx just eats that one bunny. It'll eat other animals like gophers or different things along in that chain. So when you hear in the song the word food web, I'd like you to go like this. And so putting your fingers together, make like a web, and a lynx, take your two fingers and make a link like that. So the song goes, the links in the food web, sorry, links in the food chain, the threads in the food web. The links in the food chain, the threads in the food web. Hope you got that. And once again, if there's an adult in the room, you can help the youngsters remember that. Are you ready? Everybody ready to go? All right. Well, of course, I forgot to mention that everything begins with the sun that makes those plants grow. That's the beginning of all the energy that comes down to make our ecosystems run. Well, that full sun lets those green plants grow high in the sky and in the ocean below. Solar power's what the green plants need to make the food to grow, so the creatures know just where they can feed. It's the links in the food chain, the threads in the food web, the links in the food chain, the threads in the food web. Well, many bugs and animals of every type and size eat only plants and fruits in order to survive. Munch, 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 gobble, 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 turn around and eat some more. If the diet's complete without eating any meat, you're talking about some of you know, herbivore. It's the links in the food chain, the threads in the food web, the links in the food chain, the threads in the food web. Well, pounce and snarl and bones that crunch, stalking through weeds and springing from a hunch, eating other creatures. If they're hungry, they'll eat more. They'll use their skill and they'll eat their kill, and they're called carnivores. It's the threads in the food chain, the threads in the food web, the links in the food chain, the threads in the food web. Herbivores, carnivores. What's the next one? That eat both meat and plants. Yes, omnivores. Omnivores eat any kind of food. Depends on where it is, their situation and mood. It might have been hunted, raised, or maybe grown. An omnivore might buy it at the store or order it on the phone. It's the links in the food chain, the threads in the food web, the links in the food chain, the threads in the food web. Well, all animals poop, and all living things die. Dead bodies and poop hit the soil, decompose and fertilize. Then a young seed sprouts, and it reaches to the sky. Well, that old sun lets those green plants grow high in the sky and in the ocean below. Solar power's what the green plants need to make the food to grow, so the creatures know just where they can feed. It's the links in the food chain, the threads in the food web, the links in the food chain, the threads in the food web. Yes, I did say poop in that song. And in that verse, it talks about how all living things poop and all living things die. So dead bodies and poop will decompose in the soil thanks to mushrooms and molds and yeast and so on, and then create nutrients for all the plants to grow again. Incredible. And that's that whole food chain that we're talking about. Everything is all interconnected. All right. Well, speaking of interconnected and circles, I have a song here called Cycles. And in nature, lots of things cycle up and down and around and about. You might have heard of the water cycle, right? Where there's water vapor in the air and then it condenses and comes down as rain or snow, gets into the lakes and the rivers, and then it, somebody yelled it out, I bet, evaporates up into the sky and back into water vapor, and then that just goes round and around and around. And the water on our planet has been doing that for billions of years, and we could not survive without that water. So in this song, if you would like, when we're talking about cycles, just make a big cycle with your hand like that. Or if you're really ambitious, or you stand, maybe it's a good time to stand up. If you're in a classroom at your desk, you stand up and maybe just pedal your feet as if it was a bicycle, because that's the same idea. So here we go. A bicycle is a cycle because the wheels go round and round. But did you know that animals cycle as their numbers go up and down? Nature has a million cycles, and they're truly everywhere. Cycles are so very important, though you may not know they're there. Cycles, cycles, nature goes round and round. Cycles, cycles, populations up and down. There's a water cycle and a bunny cycle and a carbon cycle too. There are natural cycles everywhere. They're a part of me and you. Now the water cycle is a simple cycle. There's water vapor in the air. Then it all comes down as snow and rain, and it melts into the ground. Then it flows into rivers, oceans, and lakes, and evaporates to the sky. Then the water comes down as snow and rain, and the cycle goes round again. Cycles, here we go. Oh, cycles, cycles, nature goes round and round. Cycles, cycles, populations up and down. There's a water cycle and a bunny cycle and a carbon cycle too. There are natural cycles everywhere. They're a part of me and you. Now living up north in the boreal forest is a bunny named the snowshoe hare. Its population grows, then it gets real low every 9 years or so. Then for 9 more years, there are more and more. Then the population goes way down, and their numbers start increasing one more time, and the cycle goes round and round. Cycles, cycles, nature goes round and round. Cycles, cycles, populations up and down. There's a water cycle and a bunny cycle and a carbon cycle too. There are natural cycles everywhere. They're a part of me and you. Now, this is just a few of the many, many, many cycles, even ones that are in our own body. But here's one. This one's about carbon. And this is kind of important to know when you're talking about climate change. Now, carbon is the name of an element. It's part of every living thing. It's in the air as carbon dioxide, and the plants breathe the carbon in. It becomes a part of the branches and leaves, and when they fall down to the ground, they decompose into CO2, that's carbon dioxide, and the cycle goes round and round. Cycles, cycles, nature goes round and round. Cycles, cycles, populations up and down. There's a water cycle and a funny cycle and a carbon cycle too. There are natural cycles everywhere. They're a part of me and you. There are natural cycles everywhere. They're a part of me and you. Nice. I bet you guys didn't know you're going to be learning so much today and having fun, I hope. So I'm going to ask Stephanie, who you saw at the beginning, to try playing a video that of a song which is all about the water cycle, but in French. And j'ai vu qu'il y avait quelques groupes qui sont avec nous aujourd'hui, qui parlent français. So this features some students from Selkirk Elementary School in Whitehorse, Yukon, who helped write the song and sing the song. And you'll see their teacher here with her new baby. This was done a year ago, so the baby's a little bit bigger now. But this was kind of a fun project to do. And the song is called L'eau est notre plus beau cadeau, which means water is our most beautiful gift. So let's see if it goes. Stephanie, let's see how it works.
Écoute sur son long voyage, elle tombe sur terre et les rivages. Sous la terre, elle nous nourrit. C'est pour cela qu'on a détruit. Elle tombe du ciel et des nuages. Dans les fleurs, c'est le camouflage. À quoi sert cette vibration? Pour nourrir les plantes et les poissons. L'eau est la vie c'est l'eau. L'homme et les animaux, tous les êtres ont besoin de l'eau. L'eau est notre plus beau cadeau. L'eau est notre plus beau cadeau. Suivant écoute sur son long voyage, des ruisseaux jusqu'au nuage, des nuages jusqu'à la terre, afin de retourner dans l'air. Faites attention au gaspillage, laissons l'eau à son voyage. Évaporation et condensation, c'est son cycle de transformation. L'eau est la vie c'est l'eau. L'homme et les animaux, tous les êtres ont besoin de l'eau. L'eau est notre plus beau cadeau. L'eau est notre plus beau cadeau. Elle coule de nos yeux, contourne nos visages. Ce monde industriel cause d'énormes ravages. Ce problème sérieux nous cause de la peine. Faut être consciencieux, faut que le monde apprenne. Écoute sur son long voyage, elle partagera son bon message. Simplement lui respecter, le garder propre et bien le traiter. L'eau est la vie c'est l'eau. L'homme et les animaux, tous les êtres ont besoin de l'eau. L'eau est notre plus beau cadeau. c'est l'eau, l'homme maintenant les animaux, tous les êtres ont besoin de l'eau. L'eau est notre plus beau cadeau, l'eau est notre plus beau cadeau, ça donne la vie et c'est vraiment beau.
C'est l'eau, c'est l'eau.
Okay. Thanks, Stephanie. I hope that that worked for everybody. Great fun to do that song. And I'd just like to mention, you might wonder who the Environment Songsters are. That was a little project that I do from time to time with my friend and colleague, Peter Lenton, also known as Peter Puffin. Some of you may know his music. He's a wonderful kids musician as well. And we like to collaborate. That means work together from time to time. So now I'm going to do what some might call the world famous song that some of you might know out there called What's That Habitat? And that's going to really wrap up all this part about the biology of what we're all about. So habitat, you've probably all heard that word before. And we like to say it's made of 4 different things. Food that we all need to eat, water, we just talked about that, we need water to survive. Shelter, like this, your place to live, get out of the wind and the snow, and space. And I'm not talking about outer space. What we're talking about is territory. So a grizzly bear needs lots of space to move around. Swans that migrate so far. Bunny rabbits need little places to get away from predators and to get out of the cold. And we as people, we need all those things as well, don't we? So once again, all connected. And I say this is world famous because it has been distributed around the world by various organizations, and it's a fun song to do. So food, water, shelter, and space. I'd like you to pat your belly. Let's do all that now. And say food. I can't hear you because I can't hear you, but I hope you're doing it. Food. And then water, shelter, space. Try that again. Food, water, shelter, space. Excellent. So I will say, what's that? And I'd love you to say habitat right after. And I will then sing c'est quoi l'habitat, which is of course French, which means the same thing. C'est quoi l'habitat? Okay, let's go. What's that habitat? C'est quoi l'habitat? What's that habitat? C'est quoi l'habitat? Habitat, habitat is where it's at. Nice. Let's try it again. What's that habitat? C'est quoi l'habitat? What's that habitat? C'est quoi l'habitat? Habitat, habitat is where it's at. Okay. Now, if you hear food, water, shelter, and space as I'm singing the song, you could try to make those symbols. Once again, maybe a teacher or another parent or adult that's there could see how well they are listening as well. You can watch them. Now every living creature needs a place to roam. We all need some shelter we can call our home. We'll die without food and water. It's simple as that. Will you put it all together and it's called habitat. What's that habitat? C'est quoi l'habitat? What's that habitat? C'est quoi l'habitat? Habitat, habitat is where it's at. Okay, let's do food, water, shelter, space like we practiced at the beginning. Are you ready? Here we go. And it's food, water, shelter, space. Food, water, shelter, space. Food, water, shelter, space. Habitat, habitat is where it's at. Just think about that beaver. He's in water all the time. He stockpiles leaves and branches all through the summertime. That's food. He stores it underwater, and in the winter he stays fat, 'cause it's under the ice outside his lodge, and that's his habitat. What's that habitat? C'est quoi l'habitat? What's that habitat? C'est quoi l'habitat? Habitat, habitat is where it's at. Food, water, here we go, and it's food. Water, shelter, space, food. Water, shelter, space, food. Water, shelter, space. Habitat, habitat is where it's at. Now the grizzly bear needs lots of space to find all the food she needs to feed herself and her cubs real well with fish, raw meat, and berries. She gets her water from the lakes and streams, and by the autumn she's so fat. She stays in her den, doesn't eat all winter, and that's her habitat. Yeah, one more time. What's that habitat? C'est quoi l'habitat? What's that habitat? C'est quoi l'habitat? Habitat, habitat is where it's at. Food, water, shelter, space, and it's food. Water, shelter, space, food. Water, shelter, space, food. Water, shelter, space. Habitat, habitat is where it's at. Again, habitat, habitat is where it's at. Look on the web. Habitat, habitat is where it's at. Habitat. Yeah. That's always such a fun song to sing, even though I've sung it many times. All right. So many of you will know that we have a little bit of a problem on this planet with too much plastic. Now, plastic's an amazing thing. We can make all sorts of stuff with it, and it's actually made our lives pretty great, you know. The problem is sometimes there's stuff we just use once and throw it away. And we try to recycle it, but not a lot of plastics are actually truly recyclable. So this song is just to remind you that let's try to reduce how much plastic we use in our daily lives. So it's not blowing around, plastic bags blowing around in our natural world, and there's not little things we call microplastics when those things break down getting into our environment. So we can all make a choice to use less plastic. So this song is called Let's Get Drastic with Our Plastic. And I say the word plastic, I already have many times. So when you hear the word plastic in this song, what I would invite you to do is make an X with your fingers or a big X with your arms. And you know what that means when you say big X? It means no plastic. We don't want that plastic. And maybe you can have a chat with your class after this about how we could reduce the amount of plastic that we use in your school and at home and every day. All right. You may have heard of plastics in the ocean, and that's the first line. Here we go. We've all heard of plastic in the ocean, a giant patch of garbage in the sea. There are piles of plastic at the recycling center because there's way too much to handle easily. We make far more plastic than we can deal with. Oh my, what are we to do? Use less plastic in our daily lives. What that means is reduce and refuse, reduce, refuse. Let's get drastic with our plastic, because its impact on the planet's not fantastic. Let your actions be enthusiastic. Oh, let's get drastic with our plastic. Have you been making your little X's? Now plastic is the most amazing product. It's made from oil in the ground. You can mold it into any sort of shape and size. It takes a really long time to break down. But when it degrades, the tiny little pieces get into the water, land, and air. These microplastics will be here forever. One more reason we should care. Let's let's care. Let's get drastic with our plastic, cause its impact on the planet's not fantastic. Let your actions be enthusiastic. Oh, let's get drastic with our plastic. Well, plastic is a very useful thing. We see it around us every day. But too much plastic creates a lot of problems. Together we've got to find a way to make it better. We can all do our part to react and think and make the change. Use less plastic and find alternatives. Encourage our friends to do the same. Oh, let's get drastic with our plastic, cause its impact on the planet's not fantastic. Let your actions be enthusiastic. Oh, let's get drastic with our plastic. Try again. Oh, let's get drastic with our plastic, cause its impact on the planet's not fantastic. Let your actions be enthusiastic. Oh, let's get drastic with our plastic. Oh, let's get drastic with our plastic. Oh, let's get drastic with our plastic. All right, maybe your arms and fingers are tired now, but for all that stuff you've been doing there. All right, well, again, I hope you have a little chat and figure out a way you can actually do something in your life to reduce the amount of plastic that you are using and throwing away. I'd like to slow it down a little bit right now, and then we are going to get close to wrapping up with the great song called Take Me Outside, Teacher, which is all about today, and about how you can encourage your teachers maybe to get you outside more. But I bet if you're listening today, your teacher's probably pretty great already in terms of getting you out and learning in the great outside. Okay, this is called 3 Simple Rules. And I like to honor the recently deceased Art Johns, who is an elder with the Tagish First Nation here in the Yukon. And he said these words, these 3 simple rules, I call them, in a public meeting. And lots of people have used those as a way of thinking and being and doing on the land when we're hunting or fishing. But also, I think we can use these 3 simple rules when we're just going through our daily lives. So the 3 simple rules are, and please repeat after me: respect all life, take only what you need, and use all you take. So respect all life, take only what you need, and use all that you take. And when you sing it, it sounds like this: respect all life, take only what you need, and for heaven's sakes, use all that you take. That part, for heaven's sakes, will change, but I'll let you know what it is. Let's try it. Just repeat after me. Respect all life. Go. Respect all life. Take only what you need. Take only what you need. And for heaven's sakes, use all that you take. And for heaven's sakes, use all that you take. Okay, here's the song. Great granddad was a man who was wise as he could be, and he always made a living from the land and from the sea, and he always fed his children with the bounties of this earth. Oh, he never was a rich man, but he knew his inner worth, and even though he had to take life to feed his family, he lived by 3 simple rules, and my dad taught these to me, and I taught them to you. Respect all life, take only what you need, and for heaven's sakes, use all that you take. Chief Joseph was a leader of his First Nations clan, and he always taught his people respect for the land. Every creature has a spirit, every plant a living soul. What a magic way to live a life, and it made his people whole. And even during hard times, he knew down in his heart the wisdom of those simple rules. Everyone must do their part for the Spirit's sake. Respect all life, take only what you need, and for the Spirit's sake, use all that you take. Respect all life, take only what you need, for the Spirit's sake, use all that you take. And now I am a person of the 21st century, and I wonder how to live my life on earth responsibly. For I know that there are limits, and we can't go on and on, consuming and polluting until everything is gone. And now I know the answers are as old as they can be. If my great-granddad were here today, he'd say these words to me. Respect all life, take only what you need for the planet's sake. And for the planet's sake, use all that you take. Let's try that again and out. Respect all life, take only what you need. And for the planet's sake, use all that you take. Well, thank you so much. Merci beaucoup. I bet you guys were singing so beautifully with that song. Now, Stephanie, I was wondering if we have time to play the Take Me Outside song to wrap up. And then I think you have some prizes to give out to the folks that are sticking around to the very end. So yeah, so if you could say a few words about that, we can play the song. And I'd just like to say the song was written kind of particularly with today's day in mind, Take Me Outside Day. And it features images from Take Me Outside Day a couple of years ago. And the words are there, so please sing along now. Your voices are warmed up with the Three Simple Rules song.
Perfect, thank you. And yeah, like Remy was saying, we're gonna have some prizes at the end, so stick around, and I'm gonna share my screen. We'll get into the last song of the day.
We love you, teacher, we love what you do. You help us to learn and to play. You show us cool stuff, and you're fair and you're smart. We like to see you each day. If there's one thing we'd change though, and it's not all your fault, it's too much time spent inside school. There's a world to discover outside these walls. Being out there would be super cool. Please take us outside. Please take us outside. There's a world to discover outside these walls. So please take us outside. You know that you're busy and a bit overworked. Going out of the school seems a chore. But what if it turns out we are better behaved and learn more and faster outdoors? You may have your doubts, but we know that we'll thrive. The research shows clearly it's true. Being outside in nature makes us happy and smart. Please help us, we're counting on you. Please take us outside. Please take us outside. There's a lot to discover outside these walls, so please take us outside. We like our tap tablets, our TV, our phones, but the outdoors is so much more fun. We can learn from the trees and the grass and the bugs, get vitamin D from the sun. So next time you're making your plans for our class, be as place-based as you can be. There's a world to discover outside these walls, so we ask you so respectfully. Please take us outside. Please take us outside. There's a world to discover outside these walls, so please take us outside. Please take us outside. Please take us outside. There's a world to discover outside these walls, so please take us outside. Please take us outside. Please take us outside. 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 Take us outside.
All right. Thank you.
Well, that was, I hope you guys are singing along. That was great.
How could you not? Oh, thank you so much, Remy. That was so fun to have you there and sing along and bop along. And learning too. Maybe some people will be having some conversations about herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores. A bunch of new words maybe for some. Do you have anything to add that you want to say before we shift into prizes and things?
Well, once again, I'm really honored and proud to be working on the traditional territory of the White River First Nation here in the Yukon. And thank you very much. Thanks to Take Me Outside and all the great sponsors that have been helping out. And really, merci beaucoup to everybody that joined us today. I did see some of the messages coming through and recognize some of the names from other areas. So thank you very much, everybody. Merci beaucoup.
Amazing. Yeah, thank you so much. And I'll thank our partners a little more specifically too, with Canada's nonprofit outdoor learning store. They're really helping support Take Me Outside Day and Week. They offer a lot of really amazing supplies for teachers, educators, and their classes to help get outside, make it a little more accessible and a little more appealing maybe. And you'll see the link in the chat there. And as well, MEC has been supporting us throughout developing our biggest Take Me Outside Day yet. So turning it into this week. So we really have to thank MEC for their support as well. And thanks to MEC and the Outdoor Learning Store and all the other partners and supporters who've helped us this week. We have prizes to give away, which is super exciting. And the prizes today, they shift a little bit depending on which session you're attending. So today we have 3. We have a $50 gift card to the Outdoor Learning Store. Amazing. We have $50 to spend at MEC, which also has, of course, tons of things that you can use to get outdoors a little bit easier, a little more comfortable. And one person will be winning a whole swag package from Take Me Outside. So you can check that out online as well. And of course, also check out Remy online too, because his website also has a bunch more, because of course he couldn't sing all his songs today. So do check us out, check Remy out, check everybody out. I'm going to announce the winners here, and it's based on folks who have stuck around till the end, based on random selection. So the first thing we're going to do is give away the Outdoor Learning Store gift card. That's going to Tara Wittick. So Tara Whittick, if you want to email us. It helps if you write in which one you won, but we'll have it written down too, but makes it all easier. It's a busy week. The next person who won is the $50 gift card to MEC, and that is going to Leanne Endicott. Congrats, Leanne Endicott. Woohoo! Great crowd support with Remy. I wish I could see everyone's faces, and I know with previous winners, like the classes were excited, and so yeah, I wish we were able to see that too. And also, if you're taking videos and pictures and stuff throughout the week, feel free to email us or tag them on social media with Take Me Outside Day. That would be amazing. So feel free to do that too. The last person winning the Take Me Outside swag bag package, Tina Latropa. Tina Latropa, congratulations. A whole bunch of swag for you. So please email us. You'll see our email is in the chat, but if we don't hear from you, we will email you. As long as you're registered, then we have your email. If you're registered for Take Me Outside Day or the Learning Challenge. If you're not registered for the Learning Challenge and you're interested in having a community supporting you to take you outside all year round, and you and your class, then reach out or check us out online on our website. So thanks everyone who's joining us today. We hope that you all have a great time once you head outdoors for Take Me Outside Day. We're really looking forward to seeing all the photos and videos of you guys having fun outside. There's more events happening this week as well. Tomorrow, we're really excited that we are going to have Dr. Jane Goodall live talking to us, answering some questions that were sent in from students and classes throughout the country. So join us for that. It's 10 a.m. Pacific tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, check us out online, and we'll talk to you all soon. Thanks so much, everybody. See you soon.
Bye, everybody. Salut. Have a good time outside.
Bye-bye.